All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the fourth episode of Night School. We're going to be looking at Civilization 6 again here. So we're going to pick up where we left off in episode 3, where we were getting to meet the neighbors. So again, my name is Steven, also known as Fresh S&P. I'm here with Games After Work. Motto is games and leisure where your life allows. So we'll go ahead and pick up where we left off last time. All right. So keep in mind to subscribe on our YouTube page, and then we also stream from time to time on Twitch as well. So go find us over there if you'd like to watch us live. All right, so let's go ahead and get started again. Let's do single player load. We have it Civ tutorial. Then we're going. As with every Civ game, they always give you the introduction. So we've been playing with the American Empire here for a while. I think they're a good early game Civ. If you're just getting your feet wet in the game, they're a good one to choose to begin with. They got some clear bonuses when it comes to combat strength and stuff like that. So that's always good early on. A lot of people, when they play Civ games, they tend to focus on the more fleshed out stuff, things like culture and culture victories and science and technology victories and things like that. But you have to remember that if you can't protect your civilization with brute force, then you're going to die early on. So all those other plays of the game are great, but it's all going to come crashing down when Gandhi invades you and shoots you with nukes. All right, so here we are again. Last time we we had our warrior go up here to this camp. We got another warrior over here trekking off to the east, and then we have our scout unit down here on the south part. We had just run into a couple people, and then we'd met the city-state over here. Oh, yep, we've got another scout up here. We're about to run into this village up here. All right, so let's keep going. We are at turn 38, so it's 2520 BC. So we've still got plenty of time. We're working on irrigation as our technology and mysticism as our civic advancement. So it looks like, yeah, we've met the German Empire, the Scythian Empire, and the English Empire so far, as well as one city-state. I'm pretty sure that's all we got. So we just built Charleston down here on the river, on the ocean, and then we've got our home base city of Washington. That's growing, but this sign over here means that we're -1 amenity. So as cities grow in Civ 6, you need amenities in the city to keep the citizens happy. So as opposed to earlier Civ games where you had a global happiness score, in Civ 6 you have city-specific happiness scores. So while the whole empire won't be happy or sad all at the same time, individual cities will be happy or sad, and you'll have ramifications for that, or bonuses if they're happy. All right, so it looks like we're out of turns here, so let's go ahead and hit the next turn. All right, so here we've got the German Empire sent a diplomatic envoy again. So remember, envoys, delegations are kind of this Civ game's way of showing that they like to be friends without declaring a friendship outright. So they're trying to build rapport with us. So it's always good to say, yeah, your delegation's most welcome. Unless you really don't like someone, it's always good to accept their delegations. Let me go up here and turn. I think I turned the... we still got something. Speech volumes and stuff. Alright, we'll do that. Oh, return the game. Looks like... Oh, yeah, we got attacked. So we just got attacked up here by the spearmen, but our warriors should be able to handle that. No worries. So back over here... We're about to find this village. We're going to move in. We got 40 gold for that, so now we've got 426 gold. I'm going to keep exploring up here with this guy. Moving back to the east. Alright, so we cleared out... That's right, there was a barbarian encampment over here that we cleared out. So let's move our warrior back kind of towards our home base. All right, so we've just built a builder now, which is going to be really helpful for us because we need some tile improvements around this city. The first one I'm going to go for is rice. It will give us a food bonus. So I'm going to go ahead and move the builder down there. He's out of turns now. With this warrior, I think I'm pretty safe to go ahead and attack and take this encampment. When I take it, I'm going to get some money out of that too. 55 gold for taking that. All right, so let's keep moving this scout around down here. So you can't move through units, even if they're friends. I mean, you can't move on the same tile as another unit. You can actually move through them if you have enough movement. Like I could move over here if I had enough movement points, but I don't. And I don't really want to move backwards, so I'm going to go ahead and skip the rest of that turn. We see here that an unmet player has built Stonehenge. So that's a wonder that we now can't build. If we get the chance in the near future to start building a wonder, I'll let you know about all those. All right, so we have Washington now needs instructions on production. The first thing I want to get set up, I should really far behind here with the monument and the granary. We should have that built already. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and build the trader. That's going to be a unit that I'm going to first send to Charleston, and it's going to start a trade route between Charleston and Washington. As I said before, in Civ 6, your builders don't build roads anymore. Your traders are the ones that actually build roads. So I want to get that road established between those two, and that trade route will also give a bonus to both Charleston and Washington in food and production, I'm pretty sure. It varies from city to city what kind of production they already have, but we'll see what goes on there. All right, so we got that building. We've got 481 gold here. I think it's a good time to see if we can buy anything for Washington. I'm going to go ahead and build a granary, even though I'm down in amenity on Washington. They're not going to get too upset quite yet. And I think I do need to go ahead and ramp up my ability to get new population boost in Washington. So I'm going to go ahead and build a granary. It gives me +1 to food, which means faster city growth, and then +2 to housing, which means that I have more space to house citizens when they grow. So as of right now, you can see my housing capacity is 5 out of 6 down here. Since I've got the Washington tab pulled up down here, it's kind of partially covered. But you can see here, amenities I'm down 1, but housing capacity is 5 out of 6. So actually I can only house 6 people at this time, but if I build this granary, that'll jump up to 8. So I'll be at 5 out of 8. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you saw it jump up there, 5 out of 8. And also, if you noticed, our growth, the number of turns until the next growth was actually at 30 turns before. Now with that extra food production, I'm up to 12 turns now. So we more than halved how long it'll take for the city to grow. All right, and that still leaves us with 220 gold. So that should be fine. All right, let's go ahead and hit the next turn. Coffee. All right. Looks like we've got no audio from the game, though. Sometimes. Sometimes, people. Let me see here. I'll try. Oh, man, that's right. Never mind. Oh, well, there'll just have to be no audio from the game for this one. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and move our scout. I think this is probably a dead end over here, but let's go ahead and check it out. Yep, it's a dead end. I can kind of tell by the way the land masses were setting up there. Looks like we need to choose production. So Charleston just got finished with, it looks like a warrior. So we'll go ahead and let's start a granary going here in Charleston to get that city speed or that growth speed up. Okay. So they moved out of our way. There's a barbarian scout there, but he's already pretty damaged. So we'll go ahead and move our guy there. Skip the rest of that turn. This is our warrior. We will go ahead and move them back. Remember, we're pulling them back towards our city. Next unit is our worker or builder. All right, so now I'm over the rice. I get the options here, right? This shows you, this little panel here shows you all the different improvements that you can build. This one can, this tile can only take a farm right now, but it gives me +1 food and it provides a 0.5 of a housing. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that. So we got that going. And because I built that, I got a boost to irrigation research, so it went ahead and completed the irrigation research. Alright, so now we're finished with that. So let's choose a new research. Looks like sailing is the next one. Let's go ahead and do that. With our new warrior, I'm going to move this guy over here just to kind of give us a better view of what's going on down there. And oh yeah, it looks like a new barbarian encampment has sprung up over here. So let's move this warrior that we just defeated, this other encampment up here. Let's move them across this river. And then what I'm going to do is actually sleep them, fortify them until healed after this. Alright. Alright, so it looks like we're pretty much done exploring up on that northeast part up here. So let's go ahead and move this guy down here. Remember with the landmasses when you're exploring, so this scout actually has a bonus to, I've promoted it to be able to move faster on hill terrains. And hill terrains are actually good tiles to end up on or move across because you get better, you get a further view away. So you get to see more tiles away than just like a flat plane or something like that. So I'm going to, you know, if I have the option, I want to kind of always end up on a hill, as long as it's on the path I'm going. So that's good. I'm going to go ahead and end up down there, see how I get 2 hex squares, or hexes, not squares. 2 hexes away of view there. All right, so we got another unit. This is our warrior. We're going to keep moving them back. Looks like we have got a barbarian scout. Not sure where they. Oh man! So I accidentally. This is another problem. So the builder was highlighted after they built the farm over here. I had them highlighted and I accidentally right-clicked while I was looking over here, and so the builder was like, "All right, I'm going to go ahead and start a path down there." Nope, don't want that to happen. And actually, I want that builder to stay as far away from that scout as possible. So I am going to move them back into this city. Alright, so we've got our warrior. I'm going to go ahead and continue this guy's trek down here because I kind of want to keep an eye on what England's doing down here. I don't want them starting any shenanigans. Let's go ahead and fortify this guy, get that last piece of health in there. So it looks like this warrior actually attacked us. That's how that health got down that far. So I'm going to go ahead and fortify this guy until healed. That early on in the game, barbarian encampments don't produce units very quickly, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Alright. So, Cynthia says they're true friends with the smaller civilizations. We appreciate that you recognize this fact. I'm not really sure what prompts some of these things. I'm not sure what prompted that. Something going on behind the scenes there, but I was just like, okay, goodbye. Sounds good. So she's actually friendly with us now, and England is unfriendly. So that's why I'm kind of keeping an eye on England. So we were fortified up here when these barbarians attacked us, so that gave us an advantage there. So that was really dumb on their behalf. Go ahead and keep this trekking down the coastline here. So we found a natural wonder, and this is Crater Lake, which apparently Jacqueline really loved Crater Lake. So if we have a city that is able to, put this wonder within its borders and then work that, you could actually, if you see here, you'd get 4 faith and 1 science bonus for that. Natural wonders are great assets to have within your borders. But that one's a little far away from me for now, so I'm not going to push too hard for it yet. Discovering that also gave us a good boost in astrology. So, yay. Alright, so we've got our warrior that's moving back. I'm going to go ahead and attack this scout. Remember, we don't want that scout being anywhere near our builder. So I'm going to move the builder. I'm going to start making a trek for this, which is coffee. It's a luxury resource. And since we've got irrigation now, we'll be able to build a plantation on it. If I move, I'm not going to be able to do that. Oh yeah, I can move it straight to it. All right. So we'll move the builder over there. That'll give us not only the tile improvements, but it'll give us the luxury resource of coffee, which will, I'm pretty sure, improve happiness. We'll have to check on that and see. So we discovered a natural wonder, and it's letting us know that barbarians are approaching our town, which is this guy here. So we got another. So unit needs orders. Again, we just want this guy to go ahead and continue to heal. And this guy, I think, is about as far as I want him. I'm going to go ahead and fortify him here. He's just going to kind of be our lookout down on that south border with England to make sure that she doesn't start amassing an army or anything like that. With the scout, we could attack this. Yeah, and it'd give us a decisive victory over that scout. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I don't like to use my scouts as military units, but if the opportunity presents itself, it's always worth giving it a shot. All right, next turn. So apparently, with this one, I didn't. There was a job that the city-state wanted me to do, and I didn't do it in time. And Germany liked that. Germany is proud of me for not aiding the city-state. I actually didn't even really pay attention to it. So Scythia is offering us a formal declaration of friendship now. I think we should probably take it. Remember, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So let's go ahead and take that. Thank you, friend. We'll say goodbye there. Cool, so now we're friends with Scythia, and it looks like that little interaction with Germany also put us in the friendly realm with Germany. So we're doing pretty good as far as our foreign relations, except for England, but she wanted to be that way, so whatever. So they just threw themselves against us and killed their warrior. Alright, so we just completed mysticism. Again, let's go take a look at the policies. Oh, they're letting us know we also have an envoy to be able to send. Okay. So we can look at the new things that we've gotten here. We've gotten Revelation is a new one, and Inspiration. Revelation will give us +2 to profit point, great prophet points, which is we need a great prophet to be able to found a full-fledged religion. And then Inspiration is the same thing, but for a great scientist, which you can use them in multiple different ways. But actually, we don't have any slots for the purples yet. So we've only got a red slot and a yellow slot, and those are all being occupied right now. So we'll go ahead and click out of that. Got a unit available for promotion because they found Crater Lake. So the scout units actually get experience points for finding really cool stuff and just exploring as well. So that promotion's available. We've already got Alpine, which is the ability for movement on hill terrains. We're going to go ahead and add Ranger too. So they have faster movement in woods, rainforest, and hills. So that that scout is really mobile. So I'm able to move through a lot. Go ahead and change our civic since we got mysticism. Let's do military tradition since it was the lowest. So now it gives us the ability to send an envoy, right? If you click on that, we've only got one city-state. I don't remember if I talked about envoys last time. Envoys are now the way that you can control your relationships with city-states, not other civilizations, but the city-states. So over a certain amount of time, you get envoys. You get points building up to how many envoys you have. So I can send an envoy. If I send the first one, it'll give me this tier 1 of the relationship of between us and Yerevan. So the tier 1 relationship is +2 to faith in our capital, which will be this measure up here, right? Faith per turn. If I get 3 envoys, then it'll have +2 to faith in every holy site district. Remember, districts, well, we'll talk about it a little bit later on. Districts are special tiles that your city can have around them that can be specialized to different things like culture, faith, money, entertainment, things like that. If I get all the way up to 6 envoys, then this is an additional +2 faith in every holy site. So that's the third tier. Relationship you can have with them. Now you can also build up envoys to become what's called the suzerain, which right now they have. Let's see, I can probably show you their relationships. City-states. Here we go. Yep, so if I click on this, it shows that Germany already has 1 envoy with Yerevan. And if I want to become the suzerain, there is no suzerain. I have to have at least 3 envoys. And then what happens is after 3, whichever country has the highest number of envoys in the city-state becomes their suzerain. And you get with that a bunch of bonuses. So 3 envoys and more than any other civilization. The unique bonus for them that you will gain is your apostle units can choose from any possible promotion instead of receiving a random promotion, which is good for religious units later on. The suzerain diplomacy bonus, the city-state follows you into war and peace with other players. Your units may enter city-state lands. Your builder units may improve city-state tiles. You see 3 tiles around the city-state. You can pay gold to temporarily take control of the city-state's military, so you can use them as like mercenaries. And then you can gain ownership of all the city-state's resources. None are currently available. So there's a lot to be said for being the suzerain, which is basically the parent country of a city-state. All right. So there's a breakdown of envoys and relationships with city-states. So I'm going to go ahead and click this one. I only had 1 envoy, so I'm going to go ahead and send that. But that's going to give me the first relationship bonus, which is +2 faith in the capital. Now, what's really good about exploring early on with scouts is that if you are the first civilization to encounter a city-state, you automatically get 1 envoy with them. So you get that tier 1 benefit automatically if you're the first civilization to meet them. So I probably don't need to stress that that's an extremely big benefit, especially if you can meet like 3 or 4 city-states to begin with, and you get extra gold. And the city-state, the bonuses for the city-state changes based on what specialty the city-state is. So this is a religious city-state. That's why you get faith. There's economic city-states. There are cultural city-states. And for each one of those, you get bonuses in those respective areas. So it's definitely worth your while to try to explore as quickly as possible early game to find as many of these city-states as you can, so you can be the first one to get an envoy right off the bat with them. Unfortunately, I wasn't the first one. It was Germany, because Germany already has 1. So Germany found them first, and that's why Germany has that envoy with them. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm placement here. So now I get that plus to my faith, though. you'll see that update next turn. It'll go from +1 to +3. So we have, wait, okay, yeah, that one's done. So you got this guy. Let's go ahead and move him down here to block off access from the scout over. The exclamation point actually means that the barbarian has spotted my city. And if that barbarian gets back to its home encampment, which I'm pretty sure is down here somewhere, if that barbarian gets back to its home encampment and tells the encampment about where my city is, that encampment will start producing units faster, and they'll start making a beeline straight for my city and attacking it directly. So my goal here is to at least try to stop the scout from getting down there. If I can't do that, then I'm going to follow it with this warrior and try to put a stop to that encampment as early on as I can so that it doesn't keep sending units that way. Alright, so now we're up here at our builder. Like I said, I'm going to build a plantation here. I'm going to get +1 gold because it's a luxury resource, and then 0.5 housing. So we go ahead and build that plantation on the coffee. Let's fortify until healed that guy. And then let's continue to fortify until healed on those guys. Alright, keep it moving. Alright, Germany says, again, we extend our hand, but this time in friendship. Will you accept it? So Germany has sent us an official French request for friendship. So I'm going to say we'd be happy to stand united as friends. So now we've got 2 friends. We've got 2 basically early on allies with Scythia and Germany. And then it's just England that's pissed, as usual. All right.
Vessels large may venture more.
Alright, so we got sailing, which allows us to build the galley unit, and then also fishing boats to be able to harvest ocean resources. So the galley is really good for early on ocean or coastal exploration. They can't traverse ocean waters. They're not big enough. So let's go ahead and move this guy over here. Remember, we're going to keep exploring, and then I'll end up on that hill. So let's keep chasing this scout with this warrior. Now we're done building that plantation. So for each builder, you get 3 improvements that you can build with it, then the builder disappears, which is actually very different than the last couple civs as well. Workers used to be stable units that you maintain control of, but in this one you can only build 3 improvements. I think there's some things that can change that. There's some technologies and some civilizations I think get a bonus to that where it's more than 3. I'm not quite sure about that yet. The next tile improvement I want to do is going to be one of these stone resources because that's going to help us with production. So we've got 1 food, 1 luxury, and 1 stone. That's going to give us a well-rounded kind of resource strategy to begin with. So I'm going to move this guy over to the east one, and then I can go ahead and just build this quarry here on that stone. And see, that's going to consume that builder, so that builder's not there anymore. But now we have a tile here that can be worked. Remember, as in previous games, if you just build the improvement on a tile, it doesn't actually do anything yet. With the luxury resources, I think it might give you access to those resources. But if it's just a normal tile or one that has a kind of passive bonus, you don't get that bonus until one of the workers in the town actually, or one of the population of the town actually works that tile. So if you do build an upgrade and you don't see anything change yet, just hold on. It just means that the city is specialized on something else right now and it's not working that tile. Alright, so we've got 3 more turns until our trader is built there. We've got 5 turns till the city grows. Charleston's got 9 turns until the granary is built, 5 turns until the city grows there. We're chasing our guy down here. We need to choose our research because we just found, or we just did sailing. So let's do bronze working next. Remember, so it's the lowest, and it has been boosted. So let's go ahead and do that. It'll reveal iron for us on the map as well. It'll give us access to the Spearman unit, encampments, which is a city district that you can build that'll be focused on military, and we can also build the barracks unit, which does a bunch of different things. All right, so let's go ahead and do bronze working. All right, next turn. I'm debating on how long to make these videos. We're at about 30 minutes right now. I know I've been steadily getting longer and longer as we've gone on. So I think I'm going to try to make it around 45 minutes each time. That way it's kind of digestible, kind of shorter. You don't have to watch, 2 hours of playing it at a single time. And for each one, hopefully it can stay kind of themed. This one's not very themed. I guess we talked more about city-states in this one, so maybe I'll title it something like being friendly with city-states or your neighbors. Well, we had meeting the neighbors last time, so I don't know. We'll figure it out. But all right, so this is our scout that is boosted both in hill terrain and forest and jungle. So he's able to move pretty quickly now. Let's keep him moving around this way to the east. This is marsh, though, which is never an easy one for him to move through. All right, so we've lost sight of the barbarian scout. Oh, now we picked him up again. So I'll just move that one down. I'm going to go ahead and continue this movement around here. Get that down. Okay, we can't move anywhere else. All right, we're all good there. Let's keep an eye out here. Ooh. So here, England is thinking of settling somewhere. So that's going to be kind of weird for us. I want to, yeah. Man, where's she going to settle? I don't think she's going to be able to settle anything up here. Because I don't think, here, I can turn on the settler view. Yeah, she can't settle any of this because it's too close to the cities. So I just went down and turned on the settler view to see if any of this was green by chance that she could settle, and there's nothing she can settle here. So don't know why our settler unit's right there. That's pretty dumb. So we'll just leave all that as is. What I was going to do, though, is if she could settle here, I was actually going to go into Charleston and buy some of these tiles. Like this tile and this tile, to try to keep her away from Charleston as much as possible. But we don't need to do that because she can't settle there anyway. All right. Also, if you go to the tile purchase screen, it'll show you which tile is going to be taken over next. The cities have influence over border expansion, and so what they do is they try to prioritize, the city does, which tile of the city border is going to take over next, and as time goes on, your borders will grow and grow and grow steadily, and the cities will manage that. You don't have to buy them. But this one shows you have 4 turns until border growth, so there's 4 turns until the city's going to take over this border here. It's doing that because of the fish bonus resource here, and there's no other bonus resources within its immediate borders, so it's taking that one first. All right, so we'll close that again, pull those back down. So no need to worry about that settler over there. She's good. All right, I'll go ahead and hit next turn. So she's moving her settler out to the west now. I just don't get why she's doing that. She can't even build on the coast there. It's too close to the other cities. Oh well. All right, so we're going to continue to explore with this guy. I'm going to take him up 1 here. That'll be able to look a little bit past that. I don't need to go so far and kind of waste that turn, so I'm going to move him through the forest and then move over here. So we've met Scythia's second city. So we've got Germany down here. Here's Scythia. So that's their second city that they have. Alright, and so let's choose production. This is going to be in Washington. So our trader just got built. For this one, let's see what to build next. We could start working on Hanging Gardens, which is a world wonder. It's going to provide 15% increase in growth in all cities. It has to be built next to a river. That could be beneficial. It could make our cities grow a lot quicker. If you notice, the amenity problem that we had went away. That is more than likely due to the luxury resource, I'm pretty sure. Actually, let's build the monument. It's only going to be 9 turns, and that's going to give us +2 to culture. So let's go ahead and start the monument building. We have a unit that needs orders. Alright, so we're going after this scout. Ooh, we can actually start to get a little bit of a heads up on it, or make some headway. Well, I don't know. Yeah, let's go down here. Try to cut it off. Doesn't look like he's moving southeast though. I don't know. I think he got lost. Alright, so now it's time to assign the trader that we built. So these are the 3 different trade routes that we can build right now. We can build one to Charleston, which is our own city. We can build one to London, which is going to go through Charleston and all the way down, but it doesn't stop at Charleston, so it's not going to help the resources between Charleston and Washington. And we can also send a trade route to Yerevan, which is all the way through this blue line over to Yerevan. And that is actually what their quest. They asked us to send an envoy to them, or a trade route to them, start a trade route. The problem is when you build trade routes, you have to be able to protect them. Because if a barbarian unit comes anywhere along this line, and I'm not there to protect the trade unit, then they can just take that trade unit, right? They can pillage that trade route, and then I have to build a whole new unit. Trade units are kind of defenseless. So early on, the best thing to do is to set up the trade routes between your own cities. Over a certain amount of time, the trade route that is established, so like if I started between Washington and Charleston, the actual trade unit will have to go back and forth between Washington and Charleston for a while to keep that trade route established. After a while, though, it'll set up a trading post of that trade route being live. It'll set up a trading post in both Charleston and Washington that will continue that trade route even without the trade unit going back and forth. So then I can use the trade unit to actually start another trade route with another city, and then over time it'll build up trade posts in both those towns where I don't have to have the unit there again. The trade between those 2 cities is just now established. And that's a really cool mechanic in this game, I think. So you have to manually kind of force those trade routes to begin with. But then over time, it's like the merchants and everything, they just start doing those trade routes on their own, which is very, very cool. So all right, let's go ahead and start our trade route with Charleston, and that's going to build the road between Charleston and Washington anyway, which is going to be helpful for our units if they need to move back and forth between Charleston and Washington. So I click on Charleston, and then that's going to give us a bonus of +1 food from the districts in Charleston and +1 production from the districts in Charleston. So, and then I'll hit begin route.
In addition to bringing riches to our civilization,
so the trade route's going to develop a road between our cities. Roads allow our units to no longer be impaired by the difficult terrains which they pass. So that's good. Alright. So we've set up a trade route, so we also got to boost a currency, right? Makes sense. Alright, so now we're back down to this unit. Let's go ahead and move them 1. I kind of want to see where this English city is in terms of development, so I'm going to move up. Alright, so that's Manchester. They're at a 2 population. That's fine. Alright, I just want to get a little more intel there. So again, we've got the English settlers moving there for no good reason, apparently. Alright, we're good to go. Keep it moving. So Scythia said they sent a trade delegation. So again, it's one of those, they're trying to build relationships with us. Delegation's most welcome. Goodbye. So they're trying to keep our good relationship going. Scythia really wants us on their good side. All right. Let's keep this guy moving. Let's move northeast. So remember, I'm just kind of mapping out the world right now. I'm trying to get the most info I can. If I move, all right. So my main goal here is to kill this scout. So if I move here, I've basically blocked that scout in. Whether the scout moves north or south, I'm going to be able to attack him next turn. So I'm going to go ahead and move there to block them in. All right. So our warrior up here is now completely healed, and we can commence our attack on the outpost up here. So let's move west. We've also got one more turn, so let's go ahead and attack them. All right, so we're going to move southwest here. We just found this barbarian encampment down here, but we don't have enough turns or movement points to move over the river, so we'll go ahead and skip the rest of that turn. And that does it for that. So look, she's moving her settler. Okay, she's going to move her settler through our territory. Now that could be another problematic thing. Because where does she think she's going with that? She thinks she's moving up. She thinks she's either moving up here or somewhere up here. And I don't like either of those things. Her putting a city here or up here is going to be bad for us. Huh. Okay. So now we need to try to figure out how to stop her from doing this as quickly as possible. The first thing we can do, oh man, it's going to cost a lot of money to try to buy this. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do, though. Because I really don't want her settling here. That's really not going to be okay. And I think that's what she's going to try to do first. She's also, if you notice, this is a wonder that she's building here. It's the Oracle. Huh. All right. Man, it's not good. I mean, honestly, she can kind of have this territory. I don't really want it. Strategically, though, I don't want her to have it. But resource-wise, I don't really care if she takes it. I mean, the crabs and the fish would be a good bonus. So, all right, so I think we're going to do a two-pronged approach here because it's going to take her a while to move up there with that settler anyway. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Washington, and I'm going to try... Wait, let me make sure I know which... So it's this plot right here that she could settle on. So I'm going to go up here to Washington. I'm going to turn that off, go up to Washington, and I'm going to try to buy my way down here. So I'm going to buy this plot for 150 or 105. Dang it. It's too far away. I can't buy it. That's not good. Huh. Man, she's going to be able to take that one if she wants it. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do then. Just taking a look at what she's got, or what my options are here. I can make a demand of her. The first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to denounce her. I don't like the way things are going with her, so the Queen wishes to warn those who disrespect her people and her mandate of the manifold troubles that will ensue. So our relationship has really soured now with her. But she can still move units through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate this unit, pull it up, and she can't move a unit where one of my units already exists. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to be a kind of an asshole here and move this unit northwest. And I'm going to try to position that unit on that 1 hex so that she can't actually move onto that with her settler, because there's really no other way that I can stop her from doing that. But I can do that with the warrior. Now the thing is that she's really mad now at us. So the chances of her building up an army down here now are much higher. So we really need to shift kind of our focus onto our military for a little while. So what I'm actually going to do is change the production in both cities. The first one being, I'm going to change it to building a slinger, which is a ranged unit. I'm going to build a slinger in Charleston. It's going to take 7 turns, and then I'm going to change this production to another warrior, which is going to take 5 turns. So we didn't lose what we got, what we already built up. But now we're just kind of preparing for her wrath. But that's alright. We don't really like what she's doing anyway. That's good. And we've got 2 friends over here that we can ask for help from. Alright. So actually I think I'm going to go ahead and call it for today. And the next session we will see what happens with England there. And see how pissed off the Queen gets at us. Since we denounced her now. And our relationship is really going bad. Alright, so this is, again, Steven, also known as Fresh SMP, with Games After Work, fun and leisure where your life allows, and I hope to see you guys next time. Alright, take it easy. Bye.